What's up, everybody? So I'm pretty excited about this tutorial. I recently had the honor of cutting the hair of a future US Olympian. If you don't know who this young man is in my chair, just Google his name, Richard Torrez, and see for yourself. He is the #1 super heavyweight, a boxer for Team USA. He's 18-year-old national champion, world bronze medalist. He currently resides at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, and he's well on his way to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. So keep an eye out for this guy, and he just happens to be from my hometown, Tulare, California. My kids and I have trained at his family's gym for years, and so I just want to give a shout out to Richard and to his dad, Coach Richard Torrez, Senior. Thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. So let's get into the haircut, and as you can see, I'm already into it. I started off with the #2 on the sides, just blending up into the long hair on the top, and now I'm going under on the bottom with the #1. I have the lever open, and I'm basically just cleaning up the bottom, just chopping it all down so that I can do a taper. I'm going to be doing a taper on the sides, a high taper, and we're just going to line up the back. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm just chopping it all down. #1, lever open. I'm not doing too much detail, just setting the canvas, because when I do the taper, everything is going to kind of blend off the taper, and the whole haircut's going to kind of go off the taper anyways. So right now I'm just kind of setting the canvas. So I have the #2 back on right here, and I'm just kind of blending in, doing a little bit of blending. So I'm going to start off with the first guideline. I'm using the Andis, the Slimline Pro Li, and the first guideline is going to be an arch going from the top of the ear up to about right if you want to aim it for like the top of his eyebrow, you can use that as a reference point. Again, this is going to be a high taper, so keep that in mind. In the back, he didn't want it tapered, and it's a good thing I asked, because I was originally going to do a taper, and right when I was going to go to do the bald line, I asked him, and he said that he wanted it lined up. So it's a good thing I asked, because the last thing you want to do is mess up a haircut on the #1 super heavyweight boxer in the nation. So yeah, so like I said, I was about to do a taper. I was gonna bald it out, so I had kind of left a little bulk right here on the bottom. So now that we're gonna line it up, I put the #1 back on, and I'm just cleaning it up. And I'm just gonna use the trimmers to line them up. He wanted a V shape in the back, so we're just gonna V it up. Now I'm gonna fix that. I know that's pretty crooked right there, but I was just kind of sketching it out, and then I'm gonna go back and detail it. Don't worry, I didn't leave them like that. So right here, I'm just using the corner of the trimmers to sketch out around his ear. And right here, you see, we're going back to do some detail. We're gonna clean up this lineup right here. Alright, so moving on to the left side, same thing. We're going to set the first guideline as an arch going from the top of his ear right to about the top of his eyebrow. Right at the corner where you do his lineup, right below that. So now I have the Oster fast feeds with no guard, with the lever open. I'm going to create the next guideline going just about a ½ inch above the first guideline, and just following the same shape. Now right here, I'm going to close the lever halfway and just go right beneath that. And now right here, it's closing a little bit more, almost all the way closed, and now it's all the way closed, and just going right beneath that every time. And as you can see, the line is blended out. We just blend it down. It was that quick, I couldn't even explain it. So now with the #1 guard with the lever open, we're going to go up about a ½ inch again. And now the lever is closed, and just soften up that line in the middle. my son jumping off the couch in the background. Alright, so now I have the zero guard with the lever is halfway open, about halfway, and just knocking out that line. Then I'm just going to open and close the lever, play with the lever until I get the blend that I like. Alright, so I have the number 1 guard back on, and with the lever open, I think it's open, probably opening and closed, it's closed there, opening and closing the lever just to do some detail right here, knock out these dark spots you see right there on the side, just cleaning it up. Like I said, the whole haircut is gonna come off of that taper. So now I have the number 2 guard, and just like I said, hitting those dark spots. Moving on to the other side, it's gonna be the exact same steps. So right here, no guard, lever is open. Now it's halfway open. I'm just gonna close it a little bit, almost all the way closed. And now it's all the way closed. Now we're gonna go to the number 1 guard, lever open, going up about a half an inch, following the same shape, the same steps as the other sides. Going lever open, then we're gonna close that lever and soften up that line. You can see it already looks blended right here, like it already almost looks blended, but there's still that dark area right there, like almost a line. So I'm going to use the zero guard. This is why we use the zero guard. As they say, this is where the magic happens. This is my favorite guard right here because this is just where the blend starts to come together. You can see it right here. I have the lever about halfway open, and I'm just blending out that line and opening and closing the lever as I need. Right here, just take the guard off for a second because there's a little bit of a line behind his ear, so put the guard right back on and go right back at it. And you can just see the blend coming together. The number 1 guard. Going to clean up, do some detail, and blend the taper into the rest of the hair on the sides. So right here I'm going to use my trimmers to line them up, and it's not going to be, we're going to keep the line up natural looking. Just gonna follow his natural hairline and clean it up. You know, when you do lineup, you never ever want to push somebody's lineup back, especially when you're dealing with somebody who can knock you out with 1 punch. I'm just playing. I mean, he's the nicest guy that you can meet, but still, you never want to do that. So we're just keeping the hairline looking natural, just cleaning up around his ear. You can see it's just making the haircut look that much cleaner. Moving on to the other side, same thing, following the natural hairline. Just giving it a nice shape, kind of framing the face. at that blend. Looks pretty clean, huh? What do you think? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. Oh, them curls though. So I'm just gonna touch it up a little bit with the razor. Alright, so I'm just going to use a little scissor over comb to blend it into the top. He's growing out the top, so we didn't touch the top, but I just wanted to blend it in a little bit on the sides to the top. And when you're doing this, you just want to hold the comb straight off his head, going straight up, and cut. I don't really know how to explain it. Alright, so he wanted a design on the side of his head, just a line right here. So I'm just going to sketch it out with the trimmers. When you're first sketching it out, make sure you start off with the line skinny, because as you detail it, and you can see here I turn the trimmers upside down and I start hitting the line to make it just a crisper, sharper line. The line is going to get fatter as you do that, so make sure you start off skinny. Right here I'm just using the corner of the trimmer to make the point on the end. Now I'm going to apply the Tomb 45 shave gel just for to make for an easier shave. Alright, so when using the straight razor, you just want to make sure that you pull on the skin. You can see with my left hand I'm using my thumb to pull up the skin on the side of his head. And I'm just using the corner of the blade to hit that line and just make it as sharp as I can. I'm going with the grain, and I'm hitting the bottom line and the top line at the same time. You can see there I'm just working my way up to the front using the corners of the blade. And that's the cut. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel, make sure you follow Richard Torrez at Real Richard Torrez on Instagram. Follow his career. He's got a bright future, and look out for him in the 2020 Olympics. Alright, hopefully bringing home the gold medal. Alright, representing Team USA. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and good night.
That was